Hi everyone. Gabriel Garcia Marquez once said that this novel is the best novel he ever wrote. This statement is important because it represents the work of a more mature and reflective author. This book is described as a love story, but it can also be analyzed as the story of two lives shaped by time, memories, and emotional transformation. The story takes place in a poor Caribbean city. Garcia Marquez constantly described the dirty streets, the sickness, and the social inequality in order to suggest that love does not only exist in perfect and ideal conditions. Instead, love can emerge in the middle of chaos, suffering, and human fragility. The title itself is deeply symbolic because the cholera in this novel is not only a physical disease but a metaphor for love. Garcia Marquez blurs the line between passion and illness. The author suggests that even if the symptoms are weaker or stronger, once that someone falls in love, uh, that person must carry with that emotional condition forever. To explore that idea, Garcia Marquez represented the two opposite ways of understanding love through the two protagonists of his novel, Florentino Ariza and Fermina Daza. Florentino Ariza represents the obsession. His way of understanding love goes beyond ethics and morality. He is capable of wait for the same woman throughout all his life, even when she ignored him. Florentino Ariza can also be analyzed as the image of the suffering artist that takes pain and transforms it into art, like Florentino does with his love letters in the novel. This is a type of character that Garcia Marquez likes so much because it's a figure that is repeated throughout his novels. The image of a man who is isolated and who creates beauty from loneliness. On the other hand, we have Fermina Daza, who represents the more realistic and measured part of love. She rejects Florentino Ariza twice, and she spends most of her life married with another man, Juvenal Urbino, and at some point she expressed that for her emotional balance and security is more important than passion. Through Fermina, Garcia Marquez challenges the romantic idea that true love must be always intense and passionate. Through this character, the author suggests that sometimes happiness can be found in stability and security rather than fantasy. In the end of the novel, Florentino Ariza and Fermina Daza ends up together. Through this ending, Garcia Marquez appears to communicate two important ideas. The first one, love does not belong only to the young. The elderly also desire affection, intimacy, and emotional connection. And second, love can only survive when it exists a balance between emotion and reason. In addition, the author leaves the reader with two powerful reflections. Florentino Ariza and Fermina Daza are the representation of the love that exists in all human beings. That's why in different moments of the life, people can be obsessive like Florentino or rational like Fermina Daza. The challenge is finding the balance between emotion and reason. And finally, this novel can also be analyzed as a criticism of idealized love stories. That's why Garcia Marquez, the author, does not represent the story of two beautiful and young lovers. Instead, he represented the story of two ordinary lovers surrounded by disease and imperfection. That's a more human and realistic vision of love, a love that does not only exist in fantasy, but in the lives of ordinary people that surround us every day. Thank you so much.